future is about to change. Sarah, the truth still survives, but only you remember it.
Contradictions in the timeline. I have every reason to eliminate you.
It doesn't have to happen. No, we can change the future. Years beyond death.
Yeah, it's your boy HipHopGamer. I got another review for you. Bam, son, right here. Final Fantasy XIII 2. Just to let you know, hands down, this game is crazy. This game is phenomenal, and it has the emotional connection that you're used to when it comes to a Square Enix Final Fantasy game. It's crazy, so let's get into it. First, we're gonna talk about the graphics, right? Now, graphically, this game is a mixed bag, and you know, that's not such a bad thing because it goes from good to great. You know what I'm saying? So it don't look bad at all, but it goes from good to great. So I'm gonna tell you what I mean. Right? When you just walking around the environment, like in real time, we're just walking around, it looks good. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything is solid, everything is in place, colors vibrant, you know, and they got a lot of different environments. So it could be raining, you could be sunshine, and things look really good. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Detail is definitely there. It looks good, right? But when you let's say you got a cutscene where you're talking to someone, and you know how the camera pans in, the camera zooms in, so you can appreciate that detail a lot more. You know what I'm saying? And excuse me. So you can appreciate that detail a lot more. So when it zooms in, I mean, yo, it look extra crazy. Like you start to see those spots on their face, like like freckles or whatever. Like if that character got that, it looks really, really detailed. I mean, that flowing of the hair. I mean, you can see all the weapons like individually on their body. Like it looks really, really good. Then it gets even better than that. So check this out. The battle scenes, yo, the battle scenes looks real crazy because the cool thing about it is like when you're about to get into a battle, you know, they pop up in real time. So you attack them in real time and then it goes into a battle scene. Then when you're in a battle scene, you see them standing there and you see all the action and then going back and forth and you see the graphical effects of the weapons and the magic, it looks real crazy. Like it's like a climax. Like this game got a graphical climax. It's crazy. So that's one thing that I really love when you get into the battles, in the battle scene. Now the next thing is this. Here's the major joint. The major cutscenes to me looks amazing, and this is when you get like the actual cinematic experience. And the cool thing about the cinematic experience is that you can still play the game even when all the cinematics is happening. So you know, you got your boss battles and stuff like that, and there's one boss battle where you running up on his arm and you gotta destroy this crystal that's on his back. Like it's crazy, but that's my thing. Like the graphics go from good to great to amazing to God damn, like that joint is like, it looked crazy. Like, so that's one of the things that I like about the graphics. Even though it's a mixed bag, it's an elevation with the mixed bag. It's not like it look good, then it look bad, then it's okay, then it's great. Like, you know what I'm saying? It takes it to another level throughout the things you do in the video game. So I think that's real crazy, and I commend Square Enix for that. That's crazy. So graphically, this game definitely represents next gen. That's one. Second, let's go to the gameplay, alright? Gameplay wise, the battle system is crazy. So let's break it down. First off, you got the Paradigm deck. Now, I love the Paradigm deck because it allows you to customize the way you want to play. And that right there is genius because anytime you play in any game, if you could customize the way you battle, then the way you could actually have that much more enjoyment in all the hours that Final Fantasy give you. That's crazy. So the next thing I want to say is this. With the you got like Double Trouble. Like one of the names of the paradigms is Double Trouble. Then you got Slash and Burn. You got Misdirection. You got Twin Shields. You got all these different names for these paradigms, but they all do different things, and you can customize them. So one paradigm may have you going Commando, where you gotta do all the attacks, but you can mix Commando with Sentinel. And Sentinel, I believe that's the one where you do your guard. So you can have a mixture of attacks and a mixture of like guards. So in the middle of your attack, if they timeline go up and they are ready to attack you, you can be prepared to guard so you won't get wounded. So the way you mix that together is crazy, and it becomes that much more fun to play the game when you find out the proper combination you want to use for your characters. You see what I'm saying? So that's crazy. Another thing that I really like is in the middle of this battle, you can switch your paradigm. So basically that means switching your stance. Like how a boxer could be like this, then switch like this or whatever. You can switch that in the middle of the battle. So let's say I got all my attacks coming at you, right? Now I can push L1 and then switch my whole paradigm to Twin Shields. And now everything that I do is to provoke you to hit me so I can block what you do. And when I block what you do and my timeline is going up for my turn to attack, then I could switch back to aggression. And when I switch to aggression, my attacks are that much more aggressive, and I can catch you off guard and boom. So it's kind of like a chess game. You know what I'm saying? In the battle system, it's so deep, and you can customize it. So you're gonna, the game is crazy. Like yo, it's amazing. So another thing I like about the game is that the map is easy to follow. Now, especially in you know, big story games or whatever, you want a map that's easy to follow because you know you wanna have a continuation, you know what I'm saying, of the action and the progression of the story. So you got a lot of games where you don't know where you're going or what you're doing, and you're sitting around trying to figure it out, and you don't want to go to a strategy guide because you don't want to be spoiled. You want to be surprised by what the game has to give you. You see what I'm saying? So like I was saying, the way they do this game is crazy. So here's the deal. When enemies appear randomly, yo, here's the thing that I thought was crazy. Like, you can, when enemies appear randomly, you can initiate the battle, right? But when you initiate the battle, you can initiate it where they won't attack you first and you attack them first. So right off the gate, it becomes a preemptive attack. So with the preemptive attack, you get the first hit, and the first hit is usually the strongest hit. So you're already starting out with an advantage, going from real time to the battle scene, where it's, you know, turn-based. Oh my God, so I love that advantage that you get depending on if you catch them first. So that right there is crazy. Another thing is the quick time events. So in the middle of battle, right? Sometimes you may you'll get your there's like this little level that you have in the battle, and when you get that level up, they like tell you to push square. When you push square, you know, you got this little quick time thing where you gotta push X and circle or whatever, but it's running out of time, so you gotta be quick. So when you do that, you get like an extra special power, special magic abilities to use against your enemies and stuff like that, you know, once you earn it. So anybody that's played Final Fantasy VII, it's kind of like the limit break. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. So it's crazy. Now, the next thing about the quick time events that's crazy is that you got cinematic experiences. So when you're in the heat of a battle and you like about to win the battle, it goes into the cinematic as like a grand finale finish for the boss or whoever you're fighting. So when that happens, you gotta push right X, and you gotta do it and be on time, and the feeling of it is crazy because it's like you watching the great cinematics, and then as soon as the stuff pop up on the screen, it pops up in the area where you can still appreciate what you're looking at and still be able to play the game. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not like the quick time is like over here, and you gotta look around to find it. It's right there, blatant in front of your face, in the middle of the action. So the way they designed it, it was that much more fun, and it didn't take away from the cinematic. It actually added to it because the way they did it. So Square Enix is geniuses for that. That's crazy. And to me, I love the presentations of the boss battles, because when you fighting in boss battles, they are completely different from one another. Completely different. It makes you feel like, damn, I can't wait to get to the next boss, just because of how different each boss is. Like, it's insane, son. Like, it's the game right here. It's definitely the game, yo. It's amazing. So that's how I felt about the gameplay. So now let's move on to presentation. Now with the presentation, right? Here's the thing that I felt was crazy. the story grabs you so deep right from the start. Now, right from the start of the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're watching an event that's not even in the game. I believe that's actually part of DLC, but there's a part in this game where something happens to a special character, and then the whole game revolves around this character while you're the middleman and trying to bring all of these characters together. Like, it's so crazy. I want to spoil the story, but check this out. I'm gonna just tell you this, right? Now, the story is deep because the main character, the main protagonist, Sarah, she is trying to find her sister, right? So, being the main character, you know, in the middle of this all, like in the middle of everything, like, Sarah don't know whether her sister is dead or alive. And you, like, your character know, like, what's so crazy about it is that he was with Sarah's sister. So he don't know if she died or not, but he's on a mission to bring them together. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of try to convince her that you are who you say you are, because what you're saying is damn near unbelievable, and then you gotta, in the process of gaining the trust and everything, and the way the game and the story comes at you, you build a bond and a connection with the characters so fast in the game, because it's about life or death, and is it real in terms of this particular person. And the way to find this out is through time and through time gates and history and all these other things. So the way the game formulates, oh my god, you're gonna be hooked, son. Like, the adventure is crazy. You know what I'm saying? The adventure is definitely crazy, and just going through what you gotta go through to bring someone together that may or may not be dead or alive, it makes you wonder, like, how it's gonna end up. Is it real or is it not? Like, oh, it's crazy. So I just wanted to share that with you. And the last thing I wanted to mention about this game, and it's a feature, but the monsters that you fight, there's monsters that turns into crystal. So you can actually get that crystal, and the monsters that you're fighting in this game can actually be your allies. So when you in the middle of a battle, one of the enemies you killed is actually on your side, on your team, and they got their own special, you know, powers and everything, and you using them. Like, it's crazy. Like, imagine you fighting like one of the main enemies in this game, and they wind up being on your team because you killed them and they turned into a crystal. That right there is crazy. You don't understand. Like, they are part of your team. When you go to the options menu, you're setting up your battle system. They are part of your battle system. The enemies, they are on your side. Yo, that right there is crazy. So overall, I think this game is amazing. Like, I love it. You know how I do my reviews, you know what I'm saying, in terms of my review scores, where I say demo, rent, or buy. But so this is what I would say. This game right here, I would recommend you know, buy it. That would be my recommendation for you to buy this game. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because, you know, it's very long, so you definitely gonna get your, like, money's worth in terms of the length of the game. The battle system is real deep, it's very different. You could customize it, and it's very unique. Graphically, like I said, it's a mixed bag, but it climaxes throughout the entire game, so it gets better and better and better, and that's what you want from a game. You want it to get better as you go. And the controls, it feels great, you know, and there's so much to the story that is going to make you want to, you know, look that much more deeper into the overall Final Fantasy universe. I think that's great. And the uniqueness of the presentation, the way it makes you feel emotionally, the way you get attached to the characters, you're not going to put this game down. These are the type of games that I feel are superior, that's top-notch in quality, and I feel everyone should at least, you know, give it a chance to experience it. So I definitely recommend this game. So if you're an RPG fan, go out there and get Final Fantasy XIII too. If you're not an RPG fan but you like stories, this is definitely a game to buy, to get to learn, to understand it, so you can like it and enjoy it for what it is. So one love, God bless. Final Fantasy XIII too, baby. Make sure you go get yours. Peace.